I mean, if you hate NFTs, you probably hate the idea. So.
Yeah.
But you can think about it as art going to space.
Yeah.
I mean, that could change the perspective of things a little bit.
Oh man, when you said that, it made it worse. I'm just like,
What's the point?
What's the point? Welcome to another episode, another week of the Decogged podcast. Today we're going to talk about multiple topics.
Yeah.
But specifically, we're going to start off with some NFT news and whether it's good for the NFT industry or the market, or whether it's bad or indifferent, I guess. Yeah. I basically said nothing.
Whether it's left, right, up, or down.
But basically, we want to cover a few topics because it's these are pretty big news, and I do think for the most part, it does steer the market in a good place. But there are some potential.
I think there's negatives.
Yeah.
But there's like positives as well. Yeah. We can talk about what they are.
Exactly. So the first one we're going to talk about today is that Azuke, so one of the NFT projects, and one of their characters, Bobu the Bean Farmer. I know that sounds ridiculous when I say it.
Yeah.
They're actually sending this NFT to space, the International Space Station, with the SpaceX crew.
Yeah.
So that's
pretty cool.
Yeah. So with Elon and his
Elon and his cronies.
Yeah. So that's really interesting. And at first you would think that clearly this is a publicity sort of thing, right?
When you told it to me, I immediately thought like, this is a gimmick. Like, what is the point of sending an NFT to space?
Yeah.
But you mentioned there's some use to it.
Yeah. So according to this article, Stellar, a research organization at Grand Canyon University, will use the NFT to explore the energy outputs and electrical characteristics of a microbial fuel cell in a microgravity environment. I'm not sure whether they I'm not that smart.
I think I processed like 5% of what you just said.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether they're using hard words so we don't ever get what they're saying.
Nobody understands.
Yeah.
But really, it just means nothing. It's just like
yeah.
No, but what it sounds like is they're experimenting with basically like germs, microbial like fuel cells. Sounds like you're just making a battery out of germs. Battery out of bacteria, so whatever. And then my guess is they're going to use that battery to power something, which is going to be the NFT, right? So they're going to display it or activate the ledger wallet or something that it's contained in. So maybe that's a part of the use case of this sending the NFT up. But they could do it for any device, right? It didn't have to be anything to do with NFTs. So my guess is Azuke and the team probably paid some sort of money just for this marketing tactic, I guess, to try to get into headlines and stuff.
They must be paying a lot.
I imagine it'd be a lot, like to send anything to space. Yeah, but then it begs the question. Like the question that I ask is it worth the money you paid, like for the publicity that you get? Like is it worth it?
So in the NFT space, they're already very well known, right? So I don't see this being like that much more.
Yeah, it's not going to really help them in the NFT space. Yeah. Maybe like to get publicity in the general.
But that's the thing. Will it even get the general public's attention, because they're not even really into NFTs? That's right. So like being in space, I feel like it's very, I feel like, for example, Bored Ape Yacht Club, they went with Adidas, right? I feel like that's more relatable than you going to space. I just find maybe because it's me, I'm just not very into the whole space thing. It doesn't really hit me the same way as if it was something I can fashion or sports.
The partnership with Adidas and Bored Ape seems like way more of a practical use of the money, right? If you had a bunch of money and you're trying to invest it in marketing, I would be like, oh, let's try to find some sort of athletic partner, like a sports partner, or a beverage partner, or food partner, or clothing partner, something that you can then build a collection that they can resell and I'll expand to the general public.
Yeah.
You know, like that direction, not
not
sending something to space in a one-off thing that you probably paid like a huge sum of money. I mean, I don't know how much they paid, so we're just making assumptions here. But maybe they paid nothing. Maybe like Elon is a fan of Azuke or something, and he's like, you know what, let's throw.
I mean, that would be cool. But if I was an investor, I'd be like, yo, I kind of want like something that's more tangible, unless they really are like them going to space, being behind like some humanitarian, like, you know, developing like some kind of technology in space or trying something that's actually gonna push the human race forward, then of course, then that's a good thing, that's great.
So I mean, the money is obviously going towards like the research probably and other stuff, and helping fund the trip up to space. So I guess in that sense it's good. But maybe practically as a business, like as a business move, probably in my opinion not the smartest one, but maybe as a move for humanity it's a better move.
Well, anyways, these microbial fuels better be freaking like life-changing.
Not only can you use it as a battery, you can drink it for better probiotic gut health.
Nutrients. Just throw
it's multi-use, guys.
But oh, by the way, NASA is going to be part of it. I'm not sure how they're going to.
NASA's partnered up with SpaceX and a lot of their stuff. I mean, we just watched a documentary recently. About going to like the first mission. In the US in like, I don't know, 14 years or something like that to get back up to space. And it was like a joint. It was a joint effort between NASA and SpaceX, because NASA just doesn't have the budget anymore. I think, you know, the government like massively cut their budget. And
but Elon's got plenty of
money. You know, like he's got no shortage of it. That's for sure. And you know, he's got a mission, so I think it makes sense that they partnered up, because NASA's got the experience, got all the, you know, it's got like a lot of the probably the setup and infrastructure and everything that they need. So
man, that's great.
It's a good partnership.
The hype guy and the hype financial instrument, all like just going to space. But so let us know what you think in the comment sections, whether you think this is a good move by Azuke, and just your general thoughts about an NFT going to space. It'll be interesting.
I mean, if you hate NFTs, you probably hate the idea. So.
But
you can think of it as art going to space. I mean, that could change the perspective of things a little bit.
Man, when you said that, it made it worse. I'm just like, what's the point? Okay, so the second topic we're going to talk about is Deadfellaz. So very popular, almost blue chip. Project. I would say almost blue chip, or at least like, I mean, A grade.
I think it's making its way there, for sure. I think the moves that the founders are doing are really good.
So they have just signed, United Talent Agency just signed Deadfellaz as one of the clients.
And this was reported by the Hollywood Reporter, so that, I mean, that's a big deal as well. You know, Hollywood Reporter reports on all the big things about film and you know, the movie industry. So having that be tweeted out by the Hollywood Reporter is obviously a huge exposure. I mean, they might have even written an article about it. But
and we'll quickly look into that. So, there
we go.
Awesome.
Nice. So
give me a sec. Sorry, a minute. There we go. So
it does look like an article. So they wrote an entire article. Which is great exposure. I mean, this is probably better marketing than sending something to space. But
I think so. It feels like a lot more practical in terms of like, you know, you got like people. I
mean, this is just organic. I don't think they would have paid any money to have an article written. It's just.
But I mean, like, using. So United Talent Agency has like, you know, they represent people like the singer Halsey. And some other like famous people.
Like Reese Witherspoon, Lionel Richie or something, and there was a bunch of people in the
Oh no, they're just the holders of the project. But,
they hold the project.
Yeah. But you know, UTA like represents like people like Halsey.
Yeah.
Famous,
but that's what I mean.
Singer. Yeah. And then for them to even pick up Deadfellaz, which is just a NFT project that a lot of people, still the majority of people in the world, don't believe in NFTs, right? The fact that they signed them, it means a lot.
It means somebody's paying attention. In that in that talent agency.
And some people and they actually believe in what Deadfellaz is doing, right?
Or I mean, that's a huge endorsement. Like that's almost saying like, you guys are doing the right, which I think they're doing the right plays as well. Like they've done like a metaverse collection. So they've partnered up with a designer to design metaverse clothing. Which is kind of like thinking along the same lines of what we mentioned. Like more and more people are going to move into the metaverse, and it's going to be important for these brands to establish themselves already in that sort of space. So they're already doing that early on. So doing a lot of good plays, and I think this is just it's just like a result of all the things that they've been doing.
So Deadfellaz is not the first NFT project that UTA has signed. They have signed Larva Labs before, who were the creators of CryptoPunks. But CryptoPunks Larva Labs has sold that IP to Yuga Labs now. So I'm not we're not sure whether UTA is still representing Larva Labs, but it's just an interesting note that they are looking into these NFT projects. Right.
I mean, that's a huge Is that articles?
Sounds good.
I guess maybe what that means is like the talent agency thinks that Deadfellaz is as big of an opportunity as
CryptoPunks.
As CryptoPunks. I mean,
that's big.
And then I was looking into actually buying a Deadfellaz. Just like every day, I just check the prices. It's a lot of money, so I just don't want to.
How much was it at the time?
At the time, I checked it was 1.9, but obviously after this article and everything, this news has come out, I checked it this morning, and it was at 2.23 or something like that, 2.3. So it's gained like 0.4 in just overnight. So people are obviously trading NFTs based on this sort of news and stuff like that. So naturally it's pumped a bit. But I think at the end of the day, these projects, they're all long-term sort of projects. So you want to have a long-term vision.
So what do you think this means for the NFT market as a whole, or NFT projects as a whole?
I think it's definitely setting like an example of like what you should be striving for as a project. So a lot of projects at the moment are struggling because the market isn't doing so well. And I think what Deadfellaz has proven is like they're a cut above the rest, because even during this time they're still able to accomplish so much, and not kind of have this short-term vision about price and stuff like that. And they're definitely thinking like years, not months.
What I think also for this with this news is that NFT projects are going into entertainment, you know, and that's actually as an artist, and which is what our YouTube channel is about. It's really combining the worlds now. I mean, we saw it naturally. I think we just had a feeling that because of our skill set, we always saw that there's something there. Related, that the skills are translatable. But now it feels like it really is starting to head that direction where
things are tying.
This could be a IP, a TV show, or a new IP film, or really, it's really starting to sort of merge together, which is
I think I mean, NFTs, they touch so many different industries. And one of the obvious ones is film and entertainment. Because naturally, if something that starts off as art and design and whatnot can naturally lead into a bigger IP, with different things like like short films and web series, all that sort of stuff. But even just like collectibles in general, like if you think about, you know, those bears, I don't know what they're called. I can't remember.
I know the old school ones where. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know, like, and everybody wants to, and it costs like thousands of dollars now to buy like one of those bears, right? Which is crazy. So you can naturally imagine like maybe Deadfellaz can just like create a whole collection of like of physical goods. If they have a strong enough brand, and those things could sell for like thousands of dollars.
So it's very I mean, I think this news is really good overall. I don't think there's any really it's good for their project, it's good for the market.
It's good for like perception of NFTs as well. Like people can see like, oh, this is like a real thing, you know. If you still doubt it by now, I think you're just behind the curve. But I think more and more, like, at least it's just another like it just helps solidify the idea that this is not going away. This is going to be the future.
So let us know what you think about this news, because for us, we're definitely ranking it as an A+ news for everything.
Good news.
Everybody.
Well, the Azuke one is probably like a C+. And then the Deadfellaz being signed by United is an A+
for everybody.
For the whole space.
Unless direct competitors, but still. Even then.
Even then, it's something that they can then use as a
So the next news article that has been going pretty crazy this past week.
Very divisive too, I think.
I didn't know it was divisive until I read more into it, but I'm sure by now a lot of people have heard of Moonbirds, even in the mainstream media, because of how ridiculous like the price has sort of
like
skyrocketed.
Raising that amount of money in that short of a time. So Moonbirds is a collection of 10,000 pixelated bird NFTs and has become the top NFT collection with over $281 million in sales volume. And this is like over a week. Like this happened within a week. Not even a week. It hasn't even been a full week yet.
No, I don't think
maybe
so.
by the time we release this, it would have been a full week. But I mean, it's insane. Like raising $200 million in a week.
And this number was yesterday, so April 19th in Australian time, so 18th probably for US.
And just so people know, like a lot of the money raised was from the mint process. So when people mint these NFTs for the first time, I think the price was 2.5 ETH to mint. So
2.5 to mint is already like crazy.
It's very high. I mean, 2.5 is that's more than a Deadfellaz. Like, the project that we just talked about. So to mint it, an unproven project for 2.5 ETH, that's, what is that? That's like 6,000.
I think so. 6,000 something.
Yes, I think it's like $6,000. $6,500.
Let's see. $7,722, and this is like ETH is like sort of
it's come down a little bit. I mean, it might have been higher at $3,000 for 1 ETH, but
so these are what Moonbirds look like. I mean, I kind of like them.
They look cute, but if you ask somebody on the street, like, would you pay $7,700 for this?
I'll tell them to F off. Or they'll tell me to F off.
They'll be like, you're smoking too much of that crack, man.
Dude, this looks like Pidgeotto, like old school, like Pokemon, like but so it's pretty crazy. The volume traded is also very high, so people are taking advantage of the arbitrage, a lot of people are trading and taking advantage of the difference in price.
You would have just almost 10x'd your money, which is it's pretty crazy. I mean,
so I guess the controversy behind this is what I found, like what I read, is that so this project is created by Proof Collective, right? So these include like very well-known names in the space and in general in the media. Mike Winkelmann, so that's Beeple. I actually didn't know his real name.
Mike Winkelmann?
I just know his Beeple.
I think most people don't know his real name.
And Gary Vaynerchuk is in here too. So people like that. So they have like a high level of following.
Like the pedigree and the project is very high.
So there's 1,000 of these like well-known people in this collective.
So and I think to enter this collective, it's you buy a membership pass, right? And that is like 60 ETH.
Yeah, so it's basically what it offers you is basically like a club membership, like so access to events, private Discord chat, collabs, and one of those collaborations just happens to be Moonbirds, right? Yeah. So, that's the thing. Like,
I think the association with Proof Collective and the pedigree of people in Proof Collective has kind of given it the perception of like this really high value collection, right? Which I mean, it could or could not be correct. I just don't know. Like I think it's just pure speculation how much this stuff is worth. Because are they gonna give 20 ETH worth of value to you as someone who invested in this NFT? I mean, I don't know. That's and they yet to be seen.
Exactly. It's yet to. So it's all speculative, right? Yeah. And so if it's speculative, what's the difference between them and another project like Alien Friends, which is what, 2 ETH? 2 ETH right now?
It's less now. It's like almost at 1 ETH.
Yeah, 1 ETH. Yeah. So what's the difference between those two? So how can you value it?
Yeah.
And the only thing that you can really, the only thing that that's sort of boosting it up, it makes you think like it's probably because of the people behind it.
Yeah.
And then it makes you question, I guess the second problem is there some kind of price fixing.
Yeah.
That's involved, right?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of market manipulation going on in any market, as always. Yeah. But I think more so in NFT projects because it is such a
non-regulation.
Yeah, it's almost like a casino, You're coming in, you're buying these projects. A lot of people are just playing it like they play casino, which is, I guess, a negative. So that kind of brings it back to like, this project raised $200 million, which is crazy already. But is that a good thing? Some people are arguing that it's not for the space in general, because that means $200 million just got sucked out of the market for NFTs. And that means less money to go around for if you are like an artist who is trying to make, legitimate artwork and sell that. Mm-hmm. That means there's less money going around for you. So it might be harder for, it's going to take a little bit of time to recover all that money into the system. It's kind of like, I love the way that Michael Saylor, who's a big proponent of Bitcoin, the way he talks about Bitcoin is it's monetary energy. So having money in the system in Bitcoin is like, it's a good way to retain energy because Bitcoin doesn't lose value over a long duration of time because it's non-inflationary.
Yeah.
So it keeps energy in the system, and if you print money, you're diluting the system, so you're losing energy. Mm-hmm. So this is a great example of like energy loss in a system because a lot of the money got sucked out. So people aren't trading as much. People aren't willing to buy legitimate artwork as much if they're not able to make enough money to recoup those costs or whatever, or it's sucking energy out of the system. And I think a lot of people are on the side that this is not a good thing because it has just sucked money out of the system.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's... it's I don't know where I sit on this side. Like, I don't know what to think about this whole Moonbirds thing, except that the whole thing's just crazy. And if I had to err, I'd be erring on the side that this is not a good thing.
Yeah. I would say, like, if we're rating it, like, with a letter grade, right? I would say, like, this is, like... So when I say, like, D, grade D, like, sort of news, I don't mean that it's not important. Yeah. It's very significant news. But it's just not quality news. Like, it's bad. I'm leaning to
like
the bad
overall
side.
Is it a net positive or net negative? I feel like it's a net negative, but that's just me.
Yeah,
I think other people would see it differently.
But
if you have a Moonbirds, you'd probably be like, "This is amazing," because you just went from $7,700 to like $70,000 probably, like in a span of a week.
So it's great. Like for them,
it's great for you.
Yeah, it's great for you. Like, and I hope, like, I don't want to count people's pockets. Like, if you can make money, that's great. But there's also people that are gonna, because of this, lose a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So now they think going in that it's a good project and they invest their money in, and it's probably from like what I can tell, they're not providing any additional value that other projects don't. So if you get up and such, like, a lot of people who bought at such a high price, if it comes down, then they're screwed, right?
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I don't like how speculative it is. NFT market is already very speculative.
Yeah.
Right. And to sort of this project, if it doesn't do well, if it doesn't deliver in terms of like tangible value to its investors,
yeah, the value is definitely going to go down. I mean,
yeah. Well, the thing is, people, like, it's going to give a bad rap to NFTs again. It already has like sort of like a bad stigma with it, right? Already.
Yeah, about how much of a casino the whole thing is.
Yeah. So if this flops, like, it's bad all around.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So I guess again, a net negative, but
yeah,
I don't know if they could have even helped like the speculative nature. It just goes. It's less so I think the project's fault as it is just the fault of the market.
Yeah.
It's just like the participants in the market. It's just how the mentality of everybody in the NFT space is. So if anything, it's just a mirror on like how messed up the space can be. So, you know, like on one side of the coin, we have these amazing things happening, you know, like even the Azuke thing, like even though it's not like necessarily like A plus news, it's also not like a negative. It's not a net negative, I don't think. It's just like, but you know, like the Deadfellaz getting signed, that's good news.
Yeah.
So I think that's positive. So on one side you have like kind of neutral to positive news, but on the other side you kind of have this like, you know, this other news that people are looking at and saying like, you know, what the hell, like this NFT thing, it's just like a giant casino. Like I don't want to, you know, be seen to be one of these people who like are in this kind of space and just gambling my money.
Exactly.
Because it makes you look like you're just some degenerate, right?
Yeah.
It's the term degen.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, I mean, it is a lot about, you know, the fault of the market participants, so us. But, you know, I just think that it's a bit of that, and also the project itself needs to really convey that. Like, if I got that much money, I think I would have the responsibility to tell everyone, okay, this is what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure, like, maybe they are giving that information away, but it just doesn't feel like it's anything like
it. Yeah. I mean, I had a look at the website, and it definitely didn't seem like they didn't promise anything, but at the same time, like, there wasn't anything special that it set it apart other than like, okay, it was created by a Proof Collective. That was the only thing, and I think honestly the only reason why it's worth at the moment, 28th.
Okay, so let's say if you are this project, and before you weren't expecting this large like injection of funds, right? And let's say you suddenly, you know, got 280
if I get 200 million,
like, what is your initial reaction, and what would you like? Even if you didn't have a clear roadmap, right? Would you feel obligated to now really just lay out exactly the plan?
I would feel like a huge sense of responsibility. First of all, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of people's money, and you know, people can get really angry if
they
lose money. So I wouldn't try to do anything that would devalue the project. So I think coming out and saying like, hey guys, we're not, you know, like, we're just like any other project, like, you know, don't speculate on us or whatever. That's gonna like tank the price immediately, and a lot of people are gonna lose their money, and a lot of people are gonna be like really pissed off.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a great idea. What I do think is now you have that responsibility. You got to do something. That's when you have to really step up. And if I had that money, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna take this extremely seriously and step up now and like prove that the project is worth that much. Because you just got $200 million. You can do a lot with $200 million. Like you can do it. You can make. I was saying like you can make an animated feature.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at
this is when we were saying it was 89 million.
Yeah, this was when it was 80. Like they had 89 million, like by my calculations, but apparently they got way more. So they got more than double that. So an animated feature takes about I'd say like 70 to 80 million dollars.
Yeah.
I think I told you I had a quick look, and Despicable Me had $69 million as the budget.
Okay.
So I don't know if that includes marketing and stuff. It probably does.
Yeah.
But $69 million to create Despicable Me, and you think about how big of a franchise Despicable Me is now. with Minions and all the movies that they made, all the merchandise that they've sold. Huge IP, right?
Yeah.
Arguably, that's what made Illumination. Like, that was their first thing that they came out with, and it was genius, right? So with that much money, I would be immediately like, how do I utilize this money to then create like something that is even bigger than just the money itself, right? Like the IP, which is like long lasting. It's it's like a forever thing. So that's kind of where my mindset would be going down. And with $200 million, you can definitely do that, and you still have like half the money left to do something else, right?
Yeah. So, I think if I had that money, I would immediately just feature film, because it might not be, how do you say it, the most, I should say that it's because I know what that industry is, so I know exactly what to expect.
Yeah,
and I know I have that.
We can navigate that industry because we're like exposed to it already.
Exactly. So for us, I guess, in our positions, I would be like, oh, the easiest thing, feature film.
Yeah, do a feature film. Like, go the traditional route. We already raised the money. So all we need is just to have like a killer IP.
Yeah.
And you'd probably spend a lot of money hiring like good talent. To create like an IP that is gonna be a home run. And with that much money, there's no reason you should fail. There's if you fail with that much money, you just suck.
You just suck.
Yeah, you just really suck.
Yeah. And like, I would definitely, I mean, this is like not going off topic, but a little bit more detailed than we need to, but I'll focus on the story.
Focus on the freaking
story.
Yeah, I'd be focusing on like the characters and the marketability. But then also like
the story,
heavily on the story.
I'm gonna lock it in. I'm gonna lock that shit in, and I'm not freaking changing it.
Exactly. No edit changes last minute.
I'd rather hire more storyboard artists than to hire more animators and the later processes.
And I think like, one of the most I think one of the biggest things with making a movie is always the deadline, right? Because you have investors who are putting money in, and they can pull out, right? I think as an investor, you can always pull out. So you're basically at the whims of the investor, whereas these guys have already raised that money. Like, you have that money now. No one is pulling out that money now, so you can do right by the project that you decide to do, and not have to worry about investors like at your door. If it takes you like 4 or 5 years to make this film, people are going to be angry, right? People who put money in Moonbirds are going to be angry. But that doesn't matter, because if you take 4 or 5 years and you build a generational IP, like Minions, it doesn't matter, because that's going to go for like 30 years, 40 years, and you're just going to keep making more money from that, right? So I'd rather take that 4 or 5 years to get it right, and spend more time in pre-production and get the characters and everything like, the way it should be.
And these, I mean, the things you're doing for the film would be things you'll be doing for, your whole brand. So it's not like you're investing like maybe 4 years, but 2 of the years of the 4 for the film you can use for like collectibles and stuff. It's developing the whole
you're already IP, like marketing the movie like way ahead of time, so you already know like
so you're not just like 4 years in the film and then afterwards you like you add more years on top of that. It's like it coincides, and it's like going along at the same time. But I think the biggest thing is not being controlled by a studio, which is actually a lot of sometimes it's a lot of the reason why certain films just like aren't good, because there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and the studio actually has the biggest say, not the director. And if
they don't always make the right decision, like that's the thing, like not for the story at least, like maybe they think they're making the right decision for monetary reasons later on down the line, and they could be right. I mean, I haven't worked in a studio, so I'm sure there's a lot of complexity to what goes on, but a lot of the times I feel like if you can just make a really good story, and
things would sell.
It's just like automatic at that point, right? If people love the story, there's no reason why people aren't going to go flock to the theaters and watch it. And it's a no-brainer to me. Like that should be where all the focus is.
So this actually reminds me of a very specific shot in Transformers, one of the Transformers, where I forgot his name, but he's bald. And
like a bold Transformer.
It was the one. No, it was the one in Mark Wahlberg was in this Transformers.
Right.
So there was this product placement. I think it was because of China.
Oh, yep. I remember there's so many.
He had to take the drink from the fridge, and he drank it, and then that was the shot.
Wow, that's so pointless.
Before, even in the first one, there's like Mountain Dew, but it was like part of the story.
Yeah, it was tastefully done versus like just like way in your face.
So I can't a lot of people don't like Michael Bay, which is fair, but I'm pretty sure I can say that Michael Bay probably didn't want that shot in. But I'm pretty sure it's a studio that was like, we had to put it in.
You got to put it in like that. The reason you can make this movie is because this drink company is paying you that much.
Yeah, exactly. And that's very that's just one example of how like studios can just hijack the movie sometimes, and it doesn't add value. It takes value away from the movie.
Yeah.
Right. It really you're like maybe really into the movie, and that really pulls you away.
Yeah. And immediately you're just thinking like, man, like this shot is like,
it feels like a sales pitch.
There's so many shots in that movie actually. Now that I think there was one shot that the car is like, I forgot which car. I mean, that's just how bad the marketing was, because I don't even remember the car. But there was some car that drove right up to the camera, I think.
And it stopped.
It just stopped right in front of the giant ass logo in front of the screen. It's like, come on, man. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. And it gets really cheesy, right? And it's not even funny. It's just like, it was in that area where it was like, oh god.
Yeah, it's just not tasteful at that point. Yeah. And there's smart ways to do, like product placement. Yeah. That movie is a prime example of what not to do.
Yeah, exactly. So these are some of our thoughts about Moonbirds, and like what we think. Like, I think overall we think it's leaning towards the negative, or it's really big risk.
Yeah, it's definitely a negative for the overall market, I think, in the perception of NFTs. Yeah. But who knows? Could be a positive. Maybe people see this and think like, wow, this is a good thing. But more than anything, I feel like people are going to look at this and be like, hey, I can make money. Like, I can make money in the NFT market. Like,
so more degens.
Yeah. So you'd have more of this speculative, low quality, just cash cow projects come in trying to get some of this action.
Yeah. So I think, let us know what you guys think about this topic, because another very interesting topic, and it seems like these are pretty big news and from the past week. Yeah. So we're gonna move on to something a little bit away from NFTs, more into our more traditional where we came from, like animation and film entertainment, which is Warner Bros. And Discovery have just merged together, right?
Which is insane. Like, that is like a merger of a century.
Yeah.
Well, right? it's definitely a generational merger in terms of film, because it was kind of like when Disney bought Fox. Yeah. I mean, it's a big, that was a big deal.
Exactly. So they just like sort of became another superpower, possibly, right? Yeah. So the CEO, David Zaslav, sorry if I pronounced it wrong. So he's the CEO for the merger, and he thinks that the superhero branch is like, so Batman, Superman, and that whole franchise is the key for them, like for the success of the company, of the merger. So he feels like they need to revamp, but obviously, usually if there's such a big merger, there is like, they want things to change, right?
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of cooks in the kitchen again. So
exactly.
I'm a bit worried.
But he made it a point where, he felt that there needs to be one person or someone in charge of that superhero branch, sort of like Kevin Feige for Marvel. So I think they're going down that path, right? Yeah. So
who? That's the big question. I mean, who is the next Kevin Feige? I mean, you don't just find a Kevin Feige in the crowd. Like, that guy is
especially with
a special man.
I mean, you need a lot of things, right? You need the trust, and you need to be able to see long term, because everything in the society is about what did you do for me now? Yeah. Right. So having the vision to sort of like to plan out like 20 years of content, like that's pretty. I mean,
that is definitely some Kevin Feige level.
So you need to find someone like that, and you have to be sticking with this guy, because you can't, like, when something bad happens, you can't just like
you can't just pivot and because you're gonna have the same problem again.
Or else you just keep doing it and doing it again. And I'm so sick of so many like Batman films at this point, or like Batman castings.
Batman's just like James Bond now, you know. Dude. Everybody gets to have a gun.
Exactly. And I'm just like, if anything, I feel like they should replace Superman. I hate him. Like,
I mean, I like the actor. I do like I forget his name, the Superman actor, but
guy in The Witcher.
I can't.
I'm terrible with names, but that dude.
That guy, that good-looking guy. I like him as Superman. I just don't like what they did with his character, like in any of the DC. The DC EU. So
I'm wondering whether. Okay, so I never liked Superman as a character. Maybe because I think things are too easy for him. So it's unrelatable. Whilst people relate to Batman, right?
I think Batman is definitely more human, so that's natural. But like people were saying like Superman, I can't remember, there was a script like a script writer was basically saying the way to fix Superman is to give him all the problems that
a normal human has.
Not necessarily a normal human has, but it has to be all mental. Like all the challenges need to be a mental challenge. Whereas at the moment, like a lot of these movies just like utilize him as a tool, as a solution. He's just like he's just a hammer. He just comes in and smashes things, and he's done, right? But I think actually the like maybe in the first film they did him more justice than in any of the other subsequent films. But you need to have some deep human internal struggle. Like all the struggle has to be inside, and I feel like if you just put some big bad guy for him to fight, that's not the right move, because he's just gonna win like 9 times out of 10, right? So there's no struggle there.
Exactly.
But I feel like he has to make choices that really put him in a position, morally speaking, like do you kill this person to save this person? What is right as a moral decisions? So
it's sort of like who would you save, and like when
exactly that sort of stuff, exactly, who would you save? You can only save one person. Who would you save? And then stuff like that I think is a great challenge for him.
And I think that's the thing that's missing. And I feel like all the heroes sort of have this like dilemma. I think even in the Marvel heroes, they go through this dilemma in their movies. But for some reason, Superman, like, just never, I feel like in all the films, never really you never really felt it, where he has to go through this decision or make this decision. And it's always just goes back to his strength, right? So it makes him feel really cold, and like...
He solves all these problems by punching his way out of it.
Exactly.
And that's just not fun to watch, because he's so strong already. So
exactly.
There's nothing at stake if he has to punch his way out of the problem.
Or it's always like, if there's a problem, it's kryptonite.
Exactly. You can already tell.
The Squeaking Rock. It just makes it so cheap.
It does. But I mean, I don't know much about the Superman lore, so there's probably a lot to go off in the comics, but for whatever reason, they're always going off like they're going for the lowest hanging fruit.
That's true. So hopefully that they'll revive that, if anything. And then so they also said that a big part of their focus is going to be a lot more video games.
Interesting.
Expect games such as Arkham Asylum and that new Suicide Squad game. So it's sort of like
cool. I mean, Arkham Asylum's amazing, so if they make more games like that, I think.
So the new Suicide Squad game, I think, is also I could be wrong. I there's so much information sometimes. That it was made from the same guys that did Arkham Asylum, and it's really cool because it's like sort of the anti-hero sort of game, because you are the bad guys, and your job, like the job for those guys, around
killing people. That's
well,
finally
they're killing mobs, but then the boss, I think, that you're trying to kill is the Flash.
Right.
So that's pretty cool, right? I kind of like that, how it's reversed.
The roles are reversed. Plus, I'm sick of just like beating up dudes but not killing them. In Batman games, because he doesn't kill anybody, so it's like, know? I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
You know,
it'd be cool to have some gory game, which I think Suicide Squad is.
Yeah, then, it could be. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things you can do with the DCU. Like, I mean, the DCU. DC characters. So you can do like horrors. Yeah, and there's so many cool things you can do like there. That's way darker than what you could do with Marvel stuff.
Imagine Batman, like a detective, like you know, I know there's a fighting stuff, but like imagine if you went through like almost like a Silent Hill.
Yeah, but like, exactly, like a true detective thing. You know, like in Arkham and in those games, like you're a detective, but you know, you just utilize all your tools and stuff. And it's more like a puzzle game, whereas it's not really like a true mystery. Kind of game where I think like a Silent Hill type thing. Man, that'd be good.
Cool with all these like just messed up bodies. I mean, I would never play it because I'm scared of horror games, but I like the idea.
Exactly. I mean, that would be really interesting, I think. Or even just playing as a Joker and planning like city destruction or something, and the logistics behind that. I mean, I don't know how fun that would be, but it would be interesting at least.
That would be freaking interesting. Like planning a freaking assault on the city.
Like it's almost like a GTA game with the Joker. Where you have to you got to make connections with all these other gangs and plan some big heist or something.
Exactly. Screw being the good guy. But then again, I shouldn't say that in case like real criminals like get creative because of this movie.
I like where these guys are going.
But sorry, excuse me. But I think it's like very exciting news. Because then maybe
they can go toe to toe with
finally. I would like to see a good battle between the two.
Exactly. Finally, maybe we can get a crossover. Maybe there's never been a crossover because
well, in the comics there has been a version where
crossovers.
There's been crossovers. I remember this very clear. I didn't read it, but I remember seeing it on one of the comic book covers where it's like they merged two superheroes together, and it was Batman and Wolverine.
Oh man,
dude,
that
how
would
cool
be so
that?
Cool.
I remember the design of it, and it looks so cool. Maybe I can find it and post it here, but it's exciting.
I think DC's never been on the same level as Marvel, like throughout this whole like movie like run. So there's no reason Marvel would be like, let's do a collab. Do a collab. They're just like too happy to win, right? So
I did.
Maybe if DC comes back out, we're gonna get some kind of crazy merger.
I did. Maybe like Sony does really bad with Spider-Man, and they're like,
gives it back to Marvel.
I can't go back to Marvel. We're just going with DC. Let's collab.
That's all
DC.
Sony has left. I think someone mentioned that. I forgot who it was, but I think it was Chris Stockman. He said it was like Marvel, Disney keeps proving that Sony made the worst decision ever by only getting the rights to Spider-Man and none of the other heroes. Because now you have Moon Knight, you have like Loki, and you've got like like Scarlet Witch and all these characters that people like didn't really know. Unless you were like deep in the comics. But now they're just like making so much content out of these. Just like whatever hero, like you just pick it out of the bag and
we can make it good.
Exactly.
Man, very interesting. So let us know what you think about this merger, and how, if you're like an artist in in the space and film and entertainment, let us know what you guys think, especially because this can potentially mean a lot, even more content. And possibly, I hope not, like another streaming service.
Oh my goodness. Not another one.
A collection of all the Batmans.
Warner Discovery Plus.
But let us know what you think, and but that's all we got for today. So comment, like, and subscribe to the video, and let us know whether you like this new format where we're going through like multiple topics,
bunch of different topics.
Because I felt like it went like I enjoyed it. So it was nice. Until next week. Peace. Cool. Thanks for watching or listening to our content. If you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks again. Peace.